Watch until the end. Your son-in-law might be a predator tracking your every move right now. Most people believe that family is the ultimate safety net, but I'm about to prove to you that sometimes the person sitting at your Thanksgiving table is the most dangerous predator you'll ever meet. I am Clara Brennan, a 63-year-old widow. I spent 4 decades living a quiet life as a school teacher, but behind that quiet exterior, I built a hidden $8 million empire through disciplined investing. But my son-in-law, David, didn't see me as a person. To him, I was just a vault he hadn't figured out how to crack yet. Until the day he made a mistake that cost him his freedom. Subscribe to this channel if you want to learn how to protect your wealth from the people closest to you. The nightmare started with kindness. That's the first red flag. David was always too helpful. He insisted on taking my car for a routine checkup. "Clara, you shouldn't worry about the mechanics," he'd say with that fake, polished smile. When he brought the car back, something felt off. A week later, I dropped my house keys near the rear bumper. As I reached down, my hand brushed against something cold, plastic and magnetic. It was a high-end GPS tracker, blinking with a tiny, rhythmic red light. My heart stopped. My own son-in-law was tracking my every move. There is a dangerous myth that once you hit 60, your brain turns to mush and you become an easy target. David banked on that. He thought I was a frail, tech-illiterate old woman. But he forgot one thing. I spent 40 years outsmarting teenagers and balancing budgets down to the last cent. I didn't scream. I didn't call him. I did something much more calculated. Like this video, if you believe justice should always be served, no matter who the culprit is. I began my own investigation. I realized that David wasn't just a failed businessman, he was a professional ghost. His real name was Derek Morrison. He had spent the last decade drifting from state to state, marrying into wealthy families and then disappearing right as their bank accounts went dry. But with me, he was planning something darker. He wasn't just after a few $1,000s, he was planning a full-scale kidnapping to extort a $200,000 emergency ransom from my daughter, Emma, using my own money to pay for it. The pain point for most victims is fear. They panic, they confront the predator, and they get hurt. I chose the solution of strategic silence. I knew his debts were piling up. He owed over $300,000 to some very dangerous people in the underground gambling world. He was desperate. So, I gave him a ghost to chase. I took that GPS tracker and attached it to the underside of a long-haul semi-truck headed for the Canadian border. While Derek was driving 5 hours north, thinking he was following me to a secluded vacation, I was at my lawyer's office with a team of private investigators and the FBI. We didn't just find out about his fake identity, we found the offshore accounts where had been hiding money stolen from his previous victims. We had the wiretaps, the tracker evidence, and the testimony from a woman had defrauded 3 years prior. The climax happened in a sterile interrogation room. When the police picked him up at a truck stop near the border, expecting to find me, but finding a confused truck driver instead, his face turned gray. He tried to claim I was senile and that I had planted the tracker on myself to frame him. But his digital footprint told a different story. The searches for untraceable kidnapping and lethal sedative dosages on his laptop were the final nails in his coffin. Leave a comment below if you've ever dealt with a toxic relative who tried to manipulate you. The result? Derek Morrison is now serving 28 years in a federal penitentiary. My daughter is safe, and my fortune is protected. But the lesson remains. Your greatest asset isn't your bank account, it's your intuition. Never let anyone, especially family, make you feel crazy for being cautious. Audit your relationships like you audit your finances. If something feels too good to be true, it's probably a trap. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this warning. The world is full of predators who wear suits and smiles. They count on your kindness and your silence. Break the silence. Watch the signs. And always check under the bumper. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these critical life lessons.